Go, go, go. Yeah.
The open road often feels like a safe and predictable place where we can relax and focus on reaching our next destination. We rarely think about the hidden dangers that might be waiting for us just around the next bend or hidden in the shadows of an empty highway. But for the drivers in tonight's video, a routine trip instantly transformed into a terrifying struggle for survival. From highly coordinated cartel ambushes on isolated roads to a sudden raging wall of fire trapping an emergency crew in the dead of night, these shocking moments were all captured live on dashcam footage. These are the deeply disturbing instances where a single split-second decision was the only thing standing between life and a tragic end. Tonight we break down these chilling events step by step to see just how quickly an ordinary daily drive can spiral into a total living nightmare. Our first case takes us to the notorious border region of Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. A man and his wife had just crossed the international border, looking forward to a long and peaceful drive through the country. The roads were dark and mostly empty, adding an eerie atmosphere to their journey as they navigated the highway. Suddenly, their headlights illuminated an unsettling and highly suspicious sight up ahead. Multiple cars were parked awkwardly across the lanes, completely blocking the road, with several mysterious figures standing nearby in the dark. As the driver slowly approached the scene, the car parked in the middle lane pulled forward, and the people outside began to gesture with their hands, waving the driver to pass through the open gap. It looked like a normal detour, but it was actually a highly calculated and sinister trap. Just as the driver tried to accelerate through the opening, a large pickup truck sped around the corner out of nowhere, entirely cutting off their only open path of escape. Within seconds, the aggressive group surrounded the vehicle, violently banging on the windows and desperately pulling on the door handles to force their way inside.
Cartel. See that?
As you can clearly see from the intense footage, the dangerous group does absolutely everything they can to get the vehicle to come to a complete stop. However, the driver kept his composure under extreme pressure, executed a series of quick, aggressive maneuvers, and managed to speed around the blocking vehicles, escaping back in the opposite direction. Criminal groups such as this one are commonly known to set up deceptive roadblock traps in different rural areas. Typically, they will be looking for passing trucks and large SUVs to steal, which they will then use for a multitude of different illegal purposes. However, they will also violently steal wallets, cell phones, cash, and other valuable items from these unsuspecting drivers, leaving them stranded on dangerous roads. Multiple official reports of stolen items, including several hijacked cars, were filed that exact morning. James Shaw Jr. was a self-proclaimed auto enthusiast who truly loved his car. He owned a modified Subaru Forester and would commonly take it out for fast joyrides around the winding mountain roads of California. On January 4th, 2015, James was out on the famous Angeles Crest Highway for a scenic weekend ride through the beautiful San Gabriel Mountains in Los Angeles County. Because it cuts directly over the mountain peaks, the Angeles Crest Highway is well known as one of the highest elevated and most dangerous roads in Southern California. James was nearing a set of 2 concrete tunnels and recalls speeding up his car because he loved the way the loud echo from the tunnels made his exhaust sound. However, the mountain road had an incredibly sharp, unforgiving turn directly outside the exit of the second tunnel, which was something James did not know at the time. He was simply traveling way too fast to make that sharp of a turn when exiting the tunnel, resulting in an instant loss of control. He was left skidding helplessly sideways towards the edge of a massive drop-off, all of which was captured live on his dash cam. car hurls completely over the edge of the cliff. However, in a sheer stroke of absolute luck, a large metal drain pipe sticking out from the steep mountain slope catches the underside of his car, saving him from crashing down the mountain, an impact that almost certainly would have been fatal. On top of that incredible miracle, James was left completely uninjured after the violent crash. He turned off the motor, stepped down carefully onto the stable drain pipe, and climbed his way back up to the asphalt road to call for emergency assistance. A heavy-duty tow truck eventually retrieved the vehicle, but it was completely totaled and destroyed. A year later, he posted the dramatic dashcam footage online, fully acknowledging his reckless mistake and hoping others would be able to learn from it. He ultimately admitted that he was not paying full attention to the road and mistakenly assumed the highway continued straight after exiting the second tunnel. This next piece of dashcam footage was taken on June 2nd, 2022, and it happened on a busy road in Australia. The driver of this vehicle had both a front-facing and a rear-facing camera, actively recording his daily commute. Around 5 in the evening, the driver was pulling up to a red light to make a routine left turn at a crowded intersection. In the rear-facing camera view, a dark Mercedes can be seen pulling up just behind his bumper. Almost immediately after stopping, the driver's side door of the Mercedes swings wide open. A man gets out of the car and starts quickly approaching the victim's vehicle, marching aggressively while holding some sort of heavy metal object in his right hand. Fortunately, the driver happened to be looking directly in his rear view mirror when the door opened, which gave him enough time to react before the stranger reached his window. He was forced to make an emergency maneuver, driving completely off the road and through a wide patch of grass, cutting past 3 cars in front of him to escape into the open intersection. The angry man with the Mercedes was left standing completely alone in the roadway, watching the victim speed away. The driver who uploaded the footage still does not know what the man wanted or why he was targeted. He mentioned how it was possible he could have accidentally cut off the Mercedes earlier on the road without knowing it, but a close review of the footage never found any evidence of an earlier dispute. He could have been trying to violently rob the driver, commit a carjacking, or maybe something even worse. There is simply no clear way of knowing for sure. On August 1st of 2021, a massive forest fire in California, later named the Antelope Fire, was started by a sudden lightning strike. Over the next few days and weeks, the fire quickly started spreading across thousands of acres of dry forest land. During that chaotic time, multiple groups of fire trucks from around the area were sent out into the deep woods to try and contain the blaze. The terrifying footage you are seeing was taken at 1 o'clock in the morning on September 10th. This truck was one of many in a large group that was sent out into the danger zone that night. They were driving down a narrow dirt road that was close to the active fire line, but because of the extreme wind direction at the time, the entire area quickly got overrun by a fast-moving wall of fire.
I mean, this was all fine when we were driving down here 2 hours ago. And I guess when it got away from us back there, it went a little bit deeper interior and just
244, engine 1671, keep driving as fast as you can, come on.
Yeah, we need to go. This guy's driving slow, but we need to get the f*** out of here. Drive, bro. Holy.
Engine 334, 1671, where are you? Are you in section 14 yet?
Go.
Hey, 334 is
Go, dude.
the other way. We're gonna start heading south.
Oh.
See, we're backing up. We're cut off heading north. Copy that. Yeah, we're just gonna turn around.
Turning around is not an option.
Turning around and going back was completely not an option for the brave crew. The road directly in front of them had been completely engulfed by the massive flames, but by now the intense fire had also closed in on the road behind them, trapping them in a literal circle of death. This forced them off the main road to desperately find another path through the burning forest.
Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Yeah. Oh.
Hey, you guys pull back.
Come on. Down that road. I'm trying. Oh. That road. Got here.
I'm down, man. Stop, I'm down.
Go, 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 go. Go. Holy. Holy. Dude. Oh my God.
Finally, after driving blind through a rain of sparks and heavy smoke, they reach a clear opening and make it out of the fire alive. Some of the other trucks out that night would not be as lucky. A few of those emergency vehicles were pretty badly damaged and melted by the extreme heat. But other than one of the drivers receiving painful burns to his hands, every single firefighter made it out uninjured. It would not be until October 15th that the massive fire was reported as 100% contained. This next footage was captured on a remote road in Slovakia back in 2012. A family was taking a quiet drive on a narrow country road with trees closely packed on both sides of the pavement. The area had been experiencing non-stop heavy rain for the last 8 days, completely soaking the environment. Eventually, they come across a massive fallen tree covering the entire left side of the road. However, they managed to slowly continue on, but just a few meters in front of them, they find another giant tree blocking the path completely. As they approached the second tree and came to a stop, a loud cracking sound could be heard just in front of them. A massive tree was falling, and it immediately started a terrifying domino effect, with multiple large trees falling closer and closer to their vehicle. The family desperately attempts to put the car in reverse to back out of the area, but the fallen forest catches up to them instantly, slamming directly on top of their car and leaving them completely trapped inside. Meanwhile, even more heavy trees continued to crash down on top of them. The sudden falling of the trees was later discovered to be the result of a geological event known as ground destabilization caused by the excessive amounts of rain. Because it had rained pretty much non-stop for over a week, the soil became completely waterlogged, making the ground incredibly loose and muddy. This essentially made it so all the large trees did not have a firm hold in the earth. So when the first tree fell, the small amount of physical force it put on the surrounding branches was enough to take the entire section of the forest down with it. The vehicle clearly suffered catastrophic structural damage from the weight of the timber. However, it remains unclear if anyone inside the cabin was seriously injured during the incident, though the frame of the car managed to prevent them from being completely crushed. This high-stakes dashcam footage was taken from a pickup truck traveling in Chile. The driver had just gotten onto a narrow highway on-ramp and was accelerating to join the main traffic. As he continued forward, the silver vehicle just in front of him suddenly starts using its brakes to slow down aggressively. Within seconds, they come to a complete stop altogether, blocking the single-lane ramp. That is when the vehicle doors suddenly swing open, and two guys jump out into the road, with one of them armed with what looks like a handgun pointed directly at the pickup truck. Initially, the driver tries reversing out of there to escape the ambush, but there was now another car stopped directly behind him. This gave him absolutely no other option than to use his truck as a weapon and push forward. The vehicle was pushed far enough for the driver to gain momentum, get onto the main highway, and escape the armed men. During the heavy push, the brake lights of the attacker's vehicle are shown turning on as they tried to stop him, but this had almost no effect against the power of the heavy pickup truck. The video was immediately shown to the local police to help identify the armed men. It was also posted online, where a few days later, the real owner of the silver vehicle recognized the car as their own. Turns out the car had been reported stolen a few days prior to this video being taken. This critical piece of evidence is what led police to believe that the dangerous men were running a professional carjacking ring and trying to steal the pickup truck. This unbelievable incident happened in Canada, just north of Toronto, in May of 2021. The dashcam footage shows a vehicle driving down a normal suburban road on a clear afternoon when suddenly a small airplane streaks by at an incredibly low altitude, flying directly in front of the car. The low-flying plane just barely missed the hood of the vehicle by a few inches and crash-landed, hitting the ground violently in the long grass across the street. The plane suffered heavy damage to its nose cone, propeller, and sides. There were 2 people inside the plane at the time of the crash, a flight instructor and a student pilot. They were attempting a standard maneuver known as a touch and go, which is a common training exercise where you land on a runway and slow down, only to accelerate again for another takeoff immediately after without stopping. It is basically used by flight schools to practice multiple takeoffs and landings in a short amount of time. However, this time the plane had failed to regain enough engine power and altitude when it tried taking off again, forcing the instructor to make an emergency landing across the public road. Fortunately, no one on the ground was hurt, and neither the instructor nor the student received any major injuries. Our final dashcam footage was recorded in May of 2020 during a massive storm. Shown is a vehicle driving down a highway in heavy rain and incredibly high winds. The local area had been seeing severe storms like this for the last few weeks, loosening the infrastructure. As the driver carefully pushes through the bad weather, up ahead, massive utility poles begin to tip over under the pressure of the wind. One of them completely gives out and snaps, creating a terrifying chain reaction that takes many other power lines down with it onto the highway. The high voltage lines explode violently into bright flashes of blue fire as they hit the wet asphalt. Dangerous live cables and debris are left strewn across the entire highway. A man on a motorcycle coming from the opposite direction can be seen stopping his bike in pure panic and running on foot into an open field to get away from the sparking wires. Shortly after, the driver with the dashcam does something similar to save himself. He quickly drives off the main road onto a nearby dirt path while the power lines continue to explode in the distance. It is unknown if anyone was injured during the chaos, but it stands as a reminder of how quickly nature can turn a daily drive into a fight for survival. It is truly terrifying how a completely normal day can change in a single fraction of a second. These drivers were just going about their daily lives when they were suddenly forced into a fight for survival. It makes you realize how important it is to always stay alert and pay attention to your surroundings every single time you get behind the wheel. Which of these shocking dashcam moments did you find the most disturbing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more incredible survival stories and intense footage, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Chillin' Records. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there on the road.